Welcome today on this January day, beginnings, a new year, hope. I find these things are prevalent in my mindset, and manifestation is huge right now. So really focusing on what we'd like to manifest in our lives. So welcome to this live video today. We are talking about the difference between yoga and yoga therapy. So this is a question I get quite a bit from most people, is what is the difference between yoga and yoga therapy? And so they're very similar in many ways. Of course, we use the yoga philosophy. We both have used that to infuse it into a practice. But yoga therapy can be considered a more therapeutic approach. It's kind of in its development phase at this time, similar to maybe massage therapy 30 years ago. And so we're really hoping that with your support and seeing how yoga therapy can support you, if you have a really good experience, if you feel like it really helps you with your overall wellness or addressing conditions in the body or mind, the more people that share about that, the more our system will support it as well. And hopefully one day we will have yoga therapy as part of the benefits programs that people are allotted with their employment. So one of the first things that I'll share with you is my school, my teachers, Agna Yoga Therapy in Victoria. Amazing school, just the kindest and most supportive teachers. If you're ever interested in doing a little bit of education yourself, they have wonderful workshops that are on the weekends or on evenings, and you can just kind of take them at your own speed. So check out their website, Agna Yoga. It's AJNA, Agna Yoga in Victoria, BC, Canada. And if you're looking to become a yoga therapist, they also have all of the modules, everything there, and they offer it online. So that's how I became, well, I'm in the process of becoming certified as a CIAYT, a certified yoga therapist with the International Association of Yoga Therapists. And so I have been working on my yoga therapy certificate over the last few years. I'm just in the final stages doing my practicum, a few more hours of teaching, and I'm hoping to have that certification up on my wall. So Agna's yoga therapy definition, I'll read it out to you. You can also find it on their website, but it really does, it's in alignment with how I want to offer yoga therapy to the world as well. So their definition is yoga therapy is a holistic approach to health and well-being. It includes mindful breathing, gentle and supported yoga postures, anatomy education, so this one to me is key for success, and meditation. Yoga therapists are trained to work with clients experiencing injury, illness, and mental health issues. Rather than diagnose or try to treat medical conditions, we use the evidence-based tools and techniques of yoga to cultivate an integration of the body, mind, and spirit. So that's Agna's definition of yoga therapy. So I take that and I apply it as much as I can in doing my practicum. And then I've also decided to niche out into being maybe a focus on chronic pain, as you might know. And so with that, yoga therapy is a very different approach in how we treat chronic pain. I have my free workshop. It's on my website. It's also in the comments. You can click to sign up. It's actually, the next one is coming up next Wednesday. It's January 18th at noon. And I hold them about every 2 weeks right now, and it'll be a little bit more as time goes on. But in that workshop, you can learn how yoga therapy can help you overcome chronic pain. It worked for me. I had chronic pain for many years, and that's why I became so passionate about sharing how yoga therapy was the only thing that truly actually helped me get to the other side of debilitating chronic pain symptoms. So if you're one that deals with chronic pain, please check out that workshop. It's free. It's there for you to understand what the root cause is of your chronic pain and how yoga therapy can help. So let's consider yoga, just yoga, without the therapy attached. And so when we think of yoga, especially in our Western culture, what's the first thing that you might think of? For me, I picture kind of a workout on a mat. So lots of stretching, but then also some resistance style, strength training, planks, downward dog, things like that. And yes, that is yoga in the West. It's more looked at as a exercise tool for somebody who's just maybe trying to keep their fitness up, or just overall trying to become more flexible or stronger, balanced in their body and mind. And so it's a fabulous practice and can be supportive for those types of people. Yoga therapy is very different in the way that the yoga therapist will find out through a interview process of about just the same as if you went to your doctor and you sat down with them for half an hour and discussed all of your issues, what's going on for you physically, mentally, maybe emotionally. And then the yoga therapist will take the historic yoga practices, the same ones or similar ones that are used in a regular yoga class, but not just exercise poses. There's so much more to yoga than just the asana or the posture. So we use more your breath work or pranayama. We use meditation, mindfulness practices. There might even be some exploration and journaling style practices. And we do gentle postures. So there's no way I would ever ask one of my clients that comes to see me to immediately get into a downward dog. That would potentially put them in a place that might not be safe for their body and mind. So many of my clients come to me and they're not looking to learn yoga necessarily. They might be interested in what yoga is all about, but they're more looking to address illness in the body, discomfort, dis-ease. So I'm going to share with you a few of the things that we address with yoga therapy. So chronic pain is definitely one of them. That's the one that I'm mainly focused on, but I'm also trained in other areas as well. Chronic pain could be arthritis, it could be low back pain, it could be fibromyalgia, even PMS, menopause, those types of symptoms. The other things that we address are like illness support. So for people who are going through a journey of maybe trying to overcome cancer, diabetes, heart disease, yoga therapy can be a really great way to address those issues. Mental health is another key factor. And so with chronic pain, I really developed depression and anxiety because of my chronic pain. And so we also, that's why yoga therapy, it's just so holistic. It addresses so many aspects of the human's needs, our human experience, rather than just focusing on one symptom. And so mental health can be a product of having an illness, where there can be mental health issues, or it could be something hereditary, it could be something, that's developed since childhood. But anxiety, depression, PTSD, and insomnia can be some of the symptomatic factors of mental health that yoga therapy can as well help. Also, healthy aging. So I do healthy aging classes, and they're weekly, Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can drop in online, and you just have to sign up via my website, and then I send you a Zoom link, and you can pop in and try out these yoga therapy classes. So they're very gentle, they're supportive for healthy aging, osteoporosis, balance and fall prevention. So So please check those out. They're a little bit cheaper and a nice way just to kind of integrate and see what yoga therapy in a class setting looks like as well. And then also another range of concerns that yoga therapy can address is neurological issues. So stroke effects, MS, Parkinson's, TBI. So there's so many aspects that yoga therapy can support one with when it especially comes to dis-ease in the body and mind. So for somebody like that, say you had osteoporosis and you went to your doctor and they were putting you on medication, but there was just nothing else that seemed to be helping. Your doctor might recommend that you come see a yoga therapist, or maybe you just searched that out yourself and you came across it yourself. And so you could come to me in a private one-on-one session and I would sit with you for 30 minutes to figure out what's going on with your specific case. And then we would apply about 3 yoga therapy practices, maybe 4. But we start very slowly, allow for the integration to happen, and these could be breathing exercises, this could be meditation, this could be small movements in a chair, but gentle approach with the holistic mentality. So if you haven't watched my other videos on the 6 bodies or the 5 koshas, that's another way that yoga therapy really addresses the whole human. So go check those videos out. It talks about how we're not just our physical body, but we are in fact so many other layers that permeate into each other. And when one layer or a few layers are out of balance, we need to address whatever's going on in that layer or those layers to bring a holistic sense of balance to the body, mind, and spirit. So another thing I will share with you is a quote by one of the other yoga therapists who I believe went through my school's training program. And so this is his quote about what yoga therapy is. Clients are usually not coming to learn yoga, but to get help with or relief from some symptom or health condition that's troubling them. In most cases, the instruction focuses on their condition and how the yoga techniques can help them feel better and improve their function rather than on the techniques or methods of yoga practice. So each person is going to have a different therapeutic practice. And that's the importance of really sitting down and figuring out the client's needs so they can take that home or they can start to integrate a practice into their lives to start supporting more of a sense of ease in the body and mind, which will hopefully cancel out dis-ease. So just a few more things that I have to share with you so again, yoga and yoga therapy, the differences between. So a regular yoga class might have up to 60 clients, and it's really fun if you're in that kind of exercise spirit and you're going and you're working out with 60 other people in a setting and you're all moving the same and breathing the same. There's a really cool thing that happens, a synergistic connection of all those humans together, which is super cool. But it's not necessarily safe, comfortable, or pleasurable for everyone. And so that's why a regular yoga class is different than a therapeutic yoga class. A therapeutic yoga class would only have 6 to a maximum of 15 clients. Okay, so much more kind of focusing on that one-on-one as much as possible in a class setting, ensuring that everyone is feeling safe, comfortable, finding pleasure in their practice if possible, and easing off when it's necessary to do so. We come from a much more of a sense of ease rather than trying to attain or trying to get into any certain pose or posture. Regular yoga class clients are mobile and do asanas to enhance their fitness and health, which we kind of talked about already. In a therapeutic yoga class, clients have a specific health issue in common. So my Tuesday therapeutic yoga class is about tension relief. And so people who end up getting tension or even pain in their bodies start to develop this kind of dehydrated fascia. And so in that class, we really work on hydrating the fascia to release or relieve some of that tension. And then the Thursday class is a pain care class, specific to people who are struggling with pain. Could be back pain, could be knee pain, whatever it might be, and we address those things in my Thursday drop-in class. A regular yoga class has a pace that's a little bit faster than a therapeutic yoga class, so it's all about fitness, stamina, and strength focused. In a therapeutic yoga class, the pace of the class is slower, and we focus a lot on interoception, so turning inside to really listen to what your body needs and then offering it that at any given moment, coming from a place of doing 70% or less effort. So there's no need to push yourself past that 70%. It doesn't do anything good necessarily for especially chronic pain sufferers to go past 70%. And a therapeutic yoga class also really focuses on turning on your healing and repair, the parasympathetic nervous system, which I talk a lot about in my free workshop. The next one again is coming. Anybody out there know? I already mentioned it in the video. Next Wednesday at noon, so January 18th at noon, and we get into much more depth about the parasympathetic nervous system. Regular yoga class has sequences that can include 20 to 60 movements or asanas, postures. So you might flow between 20 to 60 different movements. A therapeutic yoga class has a sequence usually of about 10 to 13 movements, so way less than half. So you can see how it's a much more gentle approach, a slower approach, and there's a reason. It's for bringing more of a sense of ease and connection into the body and mind. A regular yoga class has sequences that can vary, so it could be different kind of each day. Therapeutic yoga class sequences are fairly repetitive. I try to keep it still exciting and new, but the foundational stuff is really repetitive, just to make sure it's drilled home that that foundational stuff is there before exploring further in the class. A regular yoga class has sequences that may include higher risk movements, such as inversions, going upside down, or deep back bends. There's many different shapes that people might even mention, like looking like a pretzel. Like a lot of these regular yoga classes, you can see people are so flexible, they're getting their body into these crazy shapes, which is amazing if that's for that person, but it's not for people struggling with illness, chronic disease, mental health. It just is not necessarily the most supportive thing for them. A therapeutic yoga class has sequences that include very gentle and restorative movements. A regular yoga class, the peak of the sequence is a physically challenging pose, so you kind of work your way up to a peak pose and then start to come down from that. A therapeutic yoga class, there is no obvious peak of the sequence physically. The only main focus is to keep the parasympathetic nervous system active throughout the whole thing. Regular yoga class props tend to be optional. You might see a lot of people just use their mat. They don't have many props. Where a therapeutic yoga class, especially in my restorative series that I have on Fridays, it's kind of you pre-register and sign up for it. And so I'm hoping maybe I'll make that one a drop-in eventually. But props are foundational. You need the props to support yourself through those classes. A regular yoga class would have a lot of education on the body, breath, and the mind. And, well, not a lot, I shouldn't say a lot, sorry. It has some education on the body, breath, and mind. It might not even be included, and it's not necessarily the focus. where a therapeutic yoga class, each class has a very specific educational piece that's brought into the therapeutic focus for that class. A regular yoga class has, again, the 5 koshas, or the 6 body focus, which, the regular yoga class has a kosha focus more on the physical, and then the breath, the pranayama, so 2 of the layers of the 5 koshas. And a therapeutic yoga class has a focus that builds on breath and becoming more of kind of you're connecting more with the intuition, settling back into kind of the observer seat of your experience to really listen and see what your body and mind need. And so that's part of the practice in a therapeutic yoga class. So stay with me, we're getting close to the end here. So if you've joined me live, then thanks for joining. Please pop where you're coming from in the chat. I didn't mention that already. And I appreciate your support live. And if you're just watching this in the replay, then that's awesome. I hope it's very educational and helpful for you. So how does yoga therapy work? So there's a lot of yoga therapy has a lot of science backing. In the West, we are more of a scientific based mentality in our systems and the way that we work. A lot of things can be rooted in science and in the way our systems are built. And so they've realized, especially with chronic pain, that that the bio, psycho, social, spiritual methodology is so important. And that's why yoga is such a great tool, because it really addresses all of those layers. The bio is your body, your physical layer. Psycho would be your mental and even emotional layer. Social would be how you connect in the world. And then spiritual would be how you connect to your spirit and maybe your purpose, or to other spirits walking beside you. So all of these things are addressed in yoga therapy. It's the physical that moves in through with the mental and emotional, then moves, and they all integrate into also the energetic or spiritual layers of our being. Okay, so we do a lot of focus, especially if we're doing one-on-one work, or if you are looking to just get over your chronic pain in as little time as possible. Then my program that I developed, the Yoga Therapy to Heal Freedom Formula for Chronic Pain, gives you 3 to 9 months to use yoga therapy, all of the tools and techniques, and apply them so that you can come out of the program without any more debilitating chronic pain. And so that's the process that I used, and then I built the program considering all of the different aspects that could stop you from getting to your final result. And it helped me. I got through it. It also has helped many of my clients. So if that's something you're interested in too, you can reach out at any time or go to my website and check it out. So I think I have some comments here. I'm just trying to take a look. Good, okay. Okay, so that I think pretty much covers the difference. I hope that I've made it clear for you, the difference between yoga, a regular yoga class, and yoga therapy. A regular yoga class is often taught by somebody that has their 200-hour yoga teacher training, which everyone needs to become a yoga teacher. And then from there you can kind of build on that. And so I went the direction of yoga therapy, so I spent a couple more years studying yoga therapy as my niche. And so it's a 2-year certificate program that's regulated again by the CIAYT. That's it's a certification of the International Association of Yoga Therapists. So it's regulated through an association, which is helpful sometimes to know where people are getting their knowledge, that you're kind of putting your life or your condition in their hands. So feel free to check that out online. You can just even Google C-IAYT to learn more about the association. And if you have any questions, you know I'm always here for you. Please reach out. You can direct message me, PM me through Facebook, email me, go to my website, catch me on YouTube. So there's lots of different avenues that we can connect together one-on-one so that we can get you in the right place to overcoming, whether it's chronic pain or there's something else that you want to address with your overall wellness. Thanks again for listening, and I will see you in the next one.